Sit down and heal with Coach Derek. Let that old pain breathe and we air it. You already know that you need to heal. Let me show you how. Turn the volume up, talk it out right now. Sit down and heal with Coach Derek. You picking through, can you feel it? You already know that you need to heal. Let me show you how. Turn the volume up. Talk it out right now. Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Sit Down and Heal podcast with Coach Derek. And my name is Coach Derek, and I am your host. I'm a certified healing journey coach and relationship coach. That means I bridge you between the two. We don't let you have relationship advice here without the healing first. We got to get in the guts of everything that's happening with you so that we can grow and matriculate into a better version of you. Every single Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are here live. And it's an official podcast, so that means you get the audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the things. Everywhere you can get a podcast, you can listen to the audio alone in your car, whatever else, right? Tonight is the last episode of a 5-part series called Spring Cleaning Your Love Life, Detox Your Dating Habits. So this one, some of y'all are going to need. Why aren't you dating with intention? You're dating without intention. We're going to find out why. And we're going to talk about what that really means to some people. Because some of us, we do have an intention. It's just not the right one for you. So I have notes. And y'all know sometimes I deviate from the notes. So just, breathe. We're going to breathe. So let's get started and enjoy. So let me look at my notes, make sure that I'm on task. So in general, what I have written down here is if you don't define what you're looking for, you'll accept whatever shows up. Most people are not dating intentionally. They're dating emotionally, impulsively, and reactively. I'm going to say that last one again. They're dating emotionally, impulsively, and reactively. So let me tell you something. Even if you just take those 3 words, and it'll probably be mentioned somewhere later, but y'all know I am the notes, but I have them to keep me honest here. Think about what you learn here, right? We talk about the inner child a lot here and how a lot of times that inner child becomes the motivating force for who you pick, why you pick, and all the things, right? So now put on what they used to say back in the day, put your thinking caps on. So think about that inner child and how we address that inner child here and how much power that trauma and those wounds have over your dating life. Think inner child. Now I'm going to read these 3 words and now it's going to make more sense to you why they're so powerful. Emotionally, impulsively, and reactively. It's a little kid. So I'm going to try my best to stay structurally the way I have this set up, but I just got to download, but we're going to save it. We're going to save it. So most people say that they want a relationship, but their dating behavior says they're just hoping something works out. I'm going to read that again. Many people say they want a relationship, but their dating behavior says they're just hoping something works out. Hope is not a foundation to build a relationship on. Some of y'all might win the lottery, but most of us don't. We're going to have to put boots on the ground and really spend time trying to figure out if this person aligns with us and all these other things, or we're wasting our time. If we have a goal to be in a relationship, hope will get you hurt. Damn, that's another quotable, y'all. Dating with hope will get you hurt. If that's all you leading with is hope, We don't want that, do we? So now, I didn't even know that the next bullet point says hope is not a dating strategy. Because it's not. We got to stop doing, you know what falls under the umbrella of hope? Oh my God, there was a SpongeBob episode where he was like imagination. And if you're on the audio, I'm doing my fingers in the shape of a rainbow. I don't even know why I retain that. Dating strategy should not be hope. It's not a strategy, right? And you know what falls under the umbrella of hope is potential. Y'all know y'all love that word. Sometimes we hope that somebody will be better. And where there's no guarantee, but up front you get to decide, right? Whether you're going to deal with it or not. Hope will skirt all of your vetting process. So if you don't have standards before you meet someone, attraction will negotiate them away. And when I say them away, because I know some of y'all need to, we're talking about the standards. Being attracted to someone will make you dismiss your standards. You won't even think about them. I talk about this every week. Y'all just don't be listening to me. Your standards, your boundaries. Sometimes just being attracted and feeling someone and liking them is enough to put them all in the trash. And then you wonder why it didn't work out. You wonder why you got hurt because you didn't have anything to protect you. You didn't have anything to protect you. It's scheduled every week, my friend. Same time, same place. I love you, though. Only the pop-ups, my friend. So dating without intention looks like you're dating based purely on attraction. And we talk about the feels. We talk about those feels. You know, I call them the tinglies. The tinglies will get you shook, right? A little bit of emotion, a little bit of attraction. That's all you need. And that's all you're dating for. It's just something that feels good. And you know, we always talk about being out in the dating pool and dating to find somebody to fill in the things that you aren't willing to work on. So you're okay with things just feeling good because it's good enough, right? As long as somebody's there. Ignore people without intention, ignore long-term compatibility. So this is important. Think about this. And people do it, some of us have done it, when we had kids, right? You're not thinking, is this going to be a good parent? When you're doing the thing, you're not thinking about, one day would this person be a great husband or wife, being compatible for those things. We're not worrying about that. We just want to feel good. We just want somebody there to make us feel tingly, right? So you're not thinking about alignment for the future, right? You're not thinking about whether we match. You just happy. I'm happy to be here. And that's it. And it stops there. There's no preparation before you meet them. There's no preparation for what could be while you're with them. You're just on fumes. High on fumes. You avoid important conversations early. These are people that don't date with intention. You avoid important conversations early. And I talk about this in some of my workshops. I talk about this ad nauseum every week. People who do not want to share information about them is a red flag. They avoid those important conversations because it means that you are now you eventually will matriculate past that point because the information they gave you made you want to go forward. But if I don't give you any information, I just get to use your time. And a lot of us let them do that. Use my time because if I'm by myself, who am I? I got to sit by myself? Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and just let you waste my time and we'll figure out later. I tell y'all this all the time. When you have your certain questions you need to ask to make sure it's safe to go forward, and then that person will gaslight you out of your own questions. We can't do that. Like they'd be like, yeah, why are you asking all these questions? Because I'm supposed to, right? Why don't you want to answer them is the question. That's the why don't you want to answer the questions? Is there something I need to know? We're not talking about, what's your kid's social security number. It's like, what's your religion? You know, well, I don't think we should talk about that yet. We should just hang out and have fun. It's weird, right? We we literally have things that we ask and we don't follow through with them because we like the other person enough that we'll just go ahead and push it to the side. It doesn't help you at all. Um, People who date without intention stay in situationships too long. It's crazy they say it's too long, as if you were supposed to get into it in the first place. If you know that you want more, why sit there? Some of y'all, I know some people that been in situationships for like 10 years. And I'm like, it, it's giving relationship, but you can't call it that for some reason. It's weird, right? Like you're doing all the relationship stuff, but they can't claim you. I better stop playing around. Here's another one. This is the one that y'all love. Let's see where it goes instead of deciding where they want to go. So let's go with the flow. Falls under there. I'm just seeing what happens. I didn't want to scare them away, so I stayed, but there's no intention there. You just stayed because you don't want to scare them away. I'm gonna say it again. You stayed because you didn't want to scare them away. That says more about you, right? Y'all know these type of people. These is normally like anxious attachment. This is normally like abandonment wound. I don't want to scare them away, so I'm not. They told me not to ask the question, so I'm gonna shut up. They might leave. Y'all be trying to not like lose somebody after like knowing them for 7 days. That's wild. We got to ask ourselves why we feel abandoned by a stranger. It's weird, right? We don't want a person that we don't know to leave us. It's not your man. You've been on one date. Now we got to look at you. We got to look at you. So now, I have written here going with the flow normally means flowing into confusion. It's confusing. And you know what happens, right? And I tell y'all this every week. When you are dating with so much uncertainty, that's when you guys come to me and say, how long does it take for a man to be serious? I'm like, you determine how long you're gonna stay, not them, right? Is it working out for you? Well, I just want to know how long, because it's been, 9 months and we've been dating every week, and I just don't know if it's gonna be. And he won't tell me. He don't have to, right? He didn't have you for 8 months. He don't have to give you a direction now. You accepted the deal. You signed the paper. I will just let you waste my time, and I'll ask you whether you like me 8 months later. That's the deal you signed. If that's what you're doing. We gotta be careful. We gotta, like, we talking about our hearts. We talking about our time, our safety. When you abandon all of that, what does that say about you? Yeah, that needy comes from a place deep down in your soul, in your gut, and it was there before you met them. So now, so the next segment that I have here is signs that you're dating without intention. So here's some signs to let you know that you are not dating with intention. You don't know your top relationship values, right? So this is like core values, and we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. We'll break it down. You don't know your non-negotiables or your deal breakers. You just don't know. You know why? Because you're just outside just dating, hoping. Remember, hope. I'm just hoping it works. You don't have any barriers, right? You avoid defining the relationship. We just talked about those type of people. I don't like titles. Y'all know that. And then y'all still be going. I wonder if he's going to marry me one day. Stop it. Stop. Just stop. So now you accept inconsistent effort. Ooh. Ooh, that one right there. You just keep letting it happen. What do they call it? Not low. Yeah, low effort, minimal effort. And we just keep going, right? And then we wonder in a year what happened. You knew. Your nervous system knew when it didn't feel right, right? You stay even when long-term goals don't align. Ooh, ooh. We don't even look for alignment. That's why when y'all get coached, we got to talk about these. And actually, if you join my school coaching group, right, which you can get through sit down www.sitdownandheal.com or go to the link in my bio. We're actually doing a masterclass towards the end of next month on alignment. Shout out to Coach Tanya for coming up with that topic, because that one is important, because a lot of us don't even know what that looks like. So we're gonna talk about it. We did core values, we did vetting. Like, y'all need to get in there, stop playing. We get busy in there when we have the sessions and the accountability. So get in there. You just need to get in coaching in general. Stop playing. Stop rescheduling your healing. Yeah, man. You gotta have at least in your crew for the rest of your life before you leave this earth. You gotta have like at least one Coach Tanya in your life. She'll get you together. so an example of a misalignment, right? And we know these things, but our behavior always tells the story, even when our mouth doesn't, right? So now we got to think about this. Misalignment, one wants marriage, the other one wants casual dating, but we still keep going. One want a baby, but you can't have a baby. We still keep going. And we keep going because of other things, the attachment, the inner child, the tinglies, right? Those tinglies, them tinglies, y'all, like, we all been there, right? It's the little, y'all used to call them butterflies. I call them tinglies. They be all over you. You be like, wait, I want to feel like that again. Forget the damn boundaries. We going. We going. When we going? When I'm gonna see you again? Oh, I don't know. Next week. You know, I still don't want a kid. I know, but I do. But we'll work it out later. Y'all be why? Y'all gotta be. Here's the thing. Here's what you learn. The resilience that you learn through coaching and therapy and things like. When you build a resilience, you build up a strength that when you get tingly, but you also know that it's misaligned, you could walk away and still have peace because you know what it feels like. You've achieved that level of peace. So you're like, you know what? I'm good over here. I really trying to find somebody that wants to have a kid too. But you seem amazing. That's not, we not, you know, I need somebody that's my same religion. Like some people will convert. There's other people that this is who I am. And y'all still be going because y'all tingly. You y'all better get some discipline. But you know where that discipline it starts? The inner child. That little girl and that little boy, they need you to, you know. Oh, I don't want to say that. I was gonna say shake them, but some of y'all gonna think of something else. But shake, you gotta let them know, like I got this. You gotta discipline that inner child, or they gonna run wild and run your life like they have been. Y'all call it chemistry, but it's really just you tingly because you don't really have like you'll have chemistry. You'll have like some of us will even have like real emotional feelings about people that we only met one time. And I know y'all gonna be like, because that's how it's love at first sight. It's a stranger, y'all. It's tingly at first sight. That's what it is. Y'all better be careful out there. Y'all better be careful out there. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no boxes open or anything. This is the podcast, so we are doing this for YouTube purposes. And those of you that are listening for the first time, this is uploaded to YouTube every Tuesday. So you'll be able to see the replays and also listen to it on all available podcast platforms. So let me just make sure. So don't let them tinglies. The tinglies will talk you out of your process of trying to vet someone. They're strong though. Because a lot of times it comes from that little kid inside you. It's been, you know why? Here's the thing, right? Let me deviate a little bit. You know why the inner child is so strong? Because the inner child been lifting weights since you was 10. And your mental, the logical you just been coasting and they've been driving. That's why they're strong. That's why the inner child desires are stronger than you are. But you can learn through healing to take ownership of your life and stop letting that little kid like run you. Like if you sitting at home and you're like, I wonder why narcissists are always attracted to me. I wonder why I'm only meeting a certain type of people. I wonder why, like you're gonna have to dig deeper and figure out what your part to play is in that process. What are your patterns? No wonder you're not dating with intention because, well, I'll take that back. Let's rewind. Let's make the rewind noise. You do have an intention. It's just not yours. It's the little kid's intention. There's an intention in there to attach. That's your intention. To not feel abandoned, to not feel betrayed. And you're going to find somebody to fit that too. You know why? Because the little girl, the little boy, they need speed. They're not waiting. You're not going to sit at home and wait. We're going to make it happen. Who's next? We'll worry about vetting them later. So you're dating with intention. It's just not yours. But it is yours, but like a smaller version of you. Like it's been there. Like if you do coaching, right? Like the way that I do it, you'll see yourself in a way that you never have before, and you'll realize that you've been dating the same way most of your life, even though the characters are different. And you'll be like, wait, I picked that on purpose. And I knew it wasn't good, and I still picked it. It was me. And then I did it again. And again. And again. Or I stayed for 20 years All because that first day I met them, I didn't want to be abandoned. I tried to make it work. I tried to shoehorn it in. I gave so many chances because I hoped that it would work. There's that hope word again. I spent so much time, I had to make it work because of time served. So I'm not here to judge you. I am you. I'm just saying, we put so much stock in people that play in our face for hope. It's weird, isn't it? You know that whole thing about if they show you, believe them and all that, right? A lot of this ain't even show. It hurt. It's active. So we gotta really it's hard though. Don't get it twisted. It's hard. Let me tell y'all something. It's hard to listen to the specific words I'm using. It's hard to detach from someone that you are emotionally attached to, traumatically attached to. Walking away from that, you almost need a personal intervention from like Jesus or something. Like that thing it be in there deep. And you be like, I know I'm supposed to leave, but I can't. And that's the information that we catalog and try to figure out and try to help you heal here, because it's not going away until you figure out what it is. Y'all know, and this is not a judge, right? I'm not a judge. I'm not judging you. But you ever looked at people who get married like 5, 6 times and they can't just take like a break? And most of the time you see these 5 marriages and there'll be some similarities as to how it broke up. And they be different people. And you'd be like, why don't they just sit down and heal? Why don't they just sit down and heal? Because they can't. You know, a lot of us, when we talk about intentional dating, a lot of us it's a weird word, right? Because on TikTok and social media, it's like intentional dating means I'm dating with the intention to then fill in the blank, right? Get married, be in a long-term relationship, find a companion to go on cruises with, but I ain't really trying to be in no like we all have intentions. It's just a matter of what it is. But you have the sole purpose to figure out what your intention is. And if this is how you parse this out, right? And this is what we do in coaching. If you should accept the challenge of working on yourself and being better so that you don't keep repeating the cycle. When you say, I am dating with intention, right? If you say, I'm convicted in my travel and my purpose to become, one day a wife or a husband, and this is the reason why I'm dating is because I think maybe one day I'll be in something long term, right? Then you put a pin in it. This is my intention, right? Then what you're going to do? This is how we yes, engineering lingo. This is how we plot data points. This is how I make assessments of you to see exactly what you need in order for you to get coaching. My intention is to one day be a wife. My intention is to be in a long-term relationship, but it doesn't have to lead to marriage. I already did that before, right? So now, boom, this is our number one thing that we're looking for. This is why I'm dating. And so if someone doesn't fit or align with that, then I have to move around, right? So now, boom, we have the intention, but now we got to look at how you behave. Because a lot of times it's two different things. So now this is what you get to do. This is a great exercise. If you're actively dating, you get to see who got your time. Because we're not talking about the throwaways. They don't matter. You talk to them on the phone. Nah, I'm good. Right? The people that you spent time with, 2 dates. Let's say 2 dates. They got 2 dates. They maybe got 3. Now you get to plot those people. Let's say it's 3. And you get to see if you behave the same way that your intentions dictated. I need for y'all to, we're not talking about 2 years. We're not talking about 6 months. 3 dates. We're just going to give you we're going to give you 3. My folks don't need that long. The people that get through my program, they don't need 3 dates. But now you get to see, you know what, I really wasn't feeling the person, but I gave him a chance, even though it didn't align with my intention. I just wanted to hang out and I was bored, right? That could be the answer. That means you deviated from your path. That doesn't mean you can't have fun, but y'all don't know how to have fun and stop. Some of y'all y'all be spending too much time having fun, knowing that you have an intention. So now the person that probably could have saw you somewhere, they like, I was over there, but you was over there with Rollo having fun. And now, how you doing? Like, what happened? Because y'all be situationshipping it up. Because you can't sit by yourself for too long. You got to ask yourself why you can't sit still. Because it shouldn't be difficult, but it is when you have a hunger, when you have a need, when you have wounds. Sitting at home is scary. We can't do that. We got to fit the person in somewhere, somebody. But when you do this exercise and you look at the dates that you've been on, do they track to what you say you're looking for? And if they didn't, why did you keep going? So when we talk about intention to be whatever your goal is, right? Because for a lot of people, it's not marriage. Is your behavior matching your words? A lot of us will say, absolutely. A lot of us will be like, you know what? I went on 2 dates because I was hungry and I knew they was going to pay. I just heard that on a live today that, y'all be on Get Back, but y'all be on Get Back to like, not your ex, but like the whole population. They be like, if they paying, I'm eating. I don't even have to like them. I don't even have to be attracted to them or nothing. I'm just, because they hurt so many women, I'm taking it out on all. I'm like, wait, stop. Y'all be. I told y'all this before, but I'll say it again. And I'm specifically talking to ladies. But men, we go through stuff too. And I'm picking the gender on purpose. Y'all better stop playing around with these men's feelings just because you hungry. Because people outside ain't wrapped too tight. And I need for y'all to keep coming back to my live, keep coming home to your kids. Y'all keep playing around, making these people think that you like them. You're going to be in for some interesting surprises. Don't let nobody find you in the back of no white van talking about, I told her not to go, but she was hungry. All right, I'm going to move on, damn it. Y'all think it's cute to get your get back. And not only that, but if you decide to play this game and that man has a vulnerability, you may be partially responsible for creating the next villain. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And you'd be like, I don't know why he treating women like that, because he doing get back just like you did. It's a revolving door. Y'all think, let me take, y'all should know this. Y'all know a lot of these people that y'all call villain, a lot of them didn't start out that way. Men and women. They didn't start out that way. That doesn't mean that they don't get that they get a pass for the behavior, but a lot of people did not start out hurting other people. It was like that one girl in high school, right? It was that one, and now you like, you know what? Ain't nobody gonna get me. I'm gonna get them first. Now, how many times I heard that from women that were like over 40, over 50, men over 40, over 50. Well, they do it, so I'm gonna do it. What? You got to think about this. They do it, so I'm gonna do it. So the thing that you hate the most about another individual or several, the most toxic thing about them, you know what? I want to be toxic too. The thing that you hate the most, you want to be that too. Nobody said you can't hurt, but you're going to pick the worst thing about people and say, I want to be like that. Think about it. So now, I think I talked about this the other day. This next section is about hold on one second. I just want to make sure that I'm doing okay. So a lot of times people avoid dating intentionally because they fear rejection. I touched on this, I don't know, maybe like a few days ago, about how people like rejection is like this huge thing for a lot of people, right? And setting a path of intention is scary because if you put your eggs in the basket of intention and then it doesn't work, some of us can't handle that. Some of us will go literally crazy if we put effort into moving in a direction and it doesn't work. And I'm not talking about 2 years, I'm talking about 2 months. We feel like we don't have a worth on the planet. And I talked about this thing called RSD, rejection sensitive dysphoria, where these people literally, what did the kids say? Crash out. They can't handle it. So we got to be careful. And this is the healing journey. This is the awareness that you're going to be okay if it doesn't work. You got to believe that. You got to be strong enough to move in a direction that keeps you healthy. And that's my mission here, is to make sure that you're as healthy as possible. I don't give a damn about them. Well, I do, but I don't, right? Like, you got to be able to advocate for your own peace of mind. And if you're not strong enough to do that, it's time to heal. Something's holding you back. So, people sometimes think intention means rushing, right? Because you'll have people, and you'll have some people that are supposed to be teaching you how to date better, and they will tell you, don't have an intention, just have fun, right? But a lot of us too old to just be having fun without having a dialogue about, like, why are you dating me? It's weird for somebody to tell you not to have any intention on purpose in dating. I think it's weird. Maybe when you're like 12, right? If some of you 15, 18, 40 don't have no intention, just have fun. Nah. Because what the sentiment is online is if you start off too early talking about intention, it might scare somebody away. So, isn't that what it's supposed to do? Just have fun, right? Don't talk about it, right? That's what they tell you online. Oh, I'm in the. Oh, I see the lives. Don't tell them all that. Just have fun. How many funs you gonna have before your time is wasted? How many of these funs we supposed to do? 12? We ain't supposed to talk about grown-up stuff? It makes no sense. So I'm not telling you not to listen to them, but it's silly to me for a grown person with kids that got stuff to lose, time to lose. That don't mean that don't mean you gotta sit in front of them and be like, I need to know if you gonna marry me one day. Nobody's saying that. But like you can literally like gather information about who they are as a person, what their motivations are for even dating, so that you can line that up with the behavior later. So you have data to know if it's okay to move forward, because we're not going on 10 dates talking about we just having fun and you can't get to know anybody so quick. So let's just keep going. This go with the flow is some bullshit if you 50. Like y'all, I'm saying, getting passionate about this. Why would you not vet a person to see if they align with you? It's silly. Let's just have fun. Because, there's people online that will tell you it takes 2 years to get to kind of know if you serious about the person. What? 2 years? To know if I want to, like, what are we doing, y'all? Let me tell y'all something. I used to say this. I used to say this way before I ever became a coach, right? I used to tell people this because people always ask, how long does it take for you to know if someone's serious? How long does it take and I'm like, first of all, there's no time, because it depends on what you do with the time, right? I was saying this before I even thought about doing this, right? You could take 2 people and give them 3 months and they will know nothing about each other. You could take another 2 people that are having meaningful dialogue, right? That are actually getting to know each other and learning to see if it's okay to keep moving. The second 2 will have expedited the time that they had because they made it count. When you're just spinning your wheels for 3 or 4 months and you don't know the person because you don't care, because you just having fun, then that means you don't really have any intention or purpose in why you're there. And kids like to have fun. 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 35-year-olds. I got time that I treasure. I'm not just going to hang out because it's cute to do. And I know that I want more. That's the caveat. And I know I want more, because some of y'all going to be like, I just like having fun. I don't want nobody. I'm not talking about you. That's not the audience tonight. What I'm saying is that if you say out your mouth, your mind, your heart, and your soul that you want more, and I want to meet someone, because we're not doing, like, I know y'all, I know. Let me breathe. I know that y'all are like, well, we could just be friends. Stop doing that. I know. You're going to. Not all men. Not all men. I'm talking to the ladies now. Not all men. But most men. And I don't have a statistic. Somebody going to be like, how you know it's most? Most men, if they are pursuing you, they are attracted to you, they got your number, they on the phone like, yeah, I like it. Yeah, I want to see you again. Oh my God, that hurt. Oh my God. You know what, sir, it's really not going to work, but we can be friends. Don't do that. He don't want to be your damn friend. I hope y'all like, so if if you are dating someone or meeting, whatever the hell y'all want to call it these days, you spending time and you realize it doesn't fit, roll early so that you will not be so emotionally attached to it that you can move on and keep dating. Stop letting that little kid inside of you pick these people. While I'm out here, see, here's the thing, right? You could be a very social person and you out somewhere and you just happen to meet an amazing man or woman and they're like, oh, they so cool, let's be buddies. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a man or a woman that's letting you know that they want your ass, that they willing to walk through the brick wall because I don't want nobody else there. And then you be like, we're just going to be buddies. Now, ladies, I know y'all do this. Some of y'all do this. I don't get it, but y'all do this and y'all have these dudes hanging around because you need an emotional support animal or something, right? He's still looking at your butt when you drop the napkin on the floor. Like, this is not, because he's already told you what he wanted. Y'all think that you think he's gonna turn it off like a light switch? Oh, you know what? I don't see her like that no more. Oh, it's in there. Now somebody's gonna be like, but my best friend, we dated and we kissed and we had smacks and and now we're buddies. Stop. It's the wrong show. Y'all might find these freaks of nature that just don't see you at like stop. I know, and somebody's going to challenge me on this. This is not the show tonight. I'm just saying, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Because one day you're going to be crying somewhere in the corner. He'll be like, how you doing? Buddy, you need a hug? Yeah, I need a hug. I'm not feeling. Of course you do. That dude will wait you out for 5 years. You'd be like, he's never tried anything. Y'all keep playing around. Y'all ain't young. Y'all gonna wake up the next morning. Your back gonna be hurting. You can be like, the hell, did we do something? Yeah, we did. Why my back feel like this? Anyway, moving right along. Moving right along. That's supposed to be the podcast, y'all. Let me wait. Wait. Okay. So now you got to ask yourself these questions. I'm going to fast track this real quick. y'all keep thinking these people will be your friend and they already tried to hit it. It can happen in nature, but you got to ask yourself these questions. What kind of relationship do I want? And that doesn't mean marriage. You could just want a situationship, but like say it with your chest and go find somebody that want what you want, right? Do you? I'm not your judge. What kind of lifestyle do I want? What kind of emotional qualities matter, right? Because we got to start thinking about like our core values, right? These are the core tenets of like who I am and the things that I need, right? We just did a core values masterclass that's in our school community group. So that's there. Like y'all, if y'all join, you'll get access to all of it. And we just keep appending it every month. We do a new masterclass on something that's pertinent to the group, but it's a ton of goodies. So check it out. Click the link in the bio and just find something that works for you or inbox me and I can help you. So you got to look at some of your core values and the things that would most likely be in the partner that you would want, right? Because if we're just dating because we want to feel good, you wouldn't even think about this. There's no path. There's no intention. There's nothing there's no metrics for you to use in order for you to make an educated decision on whether it's supposed to move forward. So of course you're gonna be like, I didn't even know. Like when did this happen? I thought they were a nice person because you wasn't looking. Well, part of you was just didn't have eyes. Y'all better y'all better have some more damn discipline and stop playing around. So you gotta ask yourself, emotional security, is that something maturity, consistency, great communication and comprehension, accountability, a shared life vision. How about that? We don't, you know, a lot of us don't even talk about what our vision is for our lives with the people that we're dating because we don't care, because we too busy having fun, feeling good. I hope it works out one day. You get coached by me, you'll learn that there's certain things you can do to parse out information, create a character profile, and then you'll be able to see if it aligns with you, and they won't even know you're doing it. But it allows you to make an assessment. So if you do need to leave, you can leave before you start tinkling. Y'all little pinky toes just be shaking in your shoe. And I'll be like, you know what? Y'all need to calm down. Okay, calm down. I have bullet points here, but I've been doing this so long. Ask better questions earlier, right? But then you would have to know what a better question is, right? Like you get you get to really sit back and watch and listen to how they respond to these questions, and you get to learn like the process by which you get this. But like, so here's a couple of questions. What does a healthy relationship look like to you? Right? Think about this, right? If you ask somebody, what does a healthy relationship look like to you? Now you get to sit back and catalog all the data. You get to sit back and really see if they're talking about what it looks like to them, or are they talking about bullet points they saw on social media. And then you also get to hear things that are deal breakers for you sometimes, right? And you didn't have to put a lot of effort in gathering the information. You just got to sit back. And the reason why this works, right? That's just one question. I got a couple. The reason why this works is that most people don't have these answers ready at the front. They're ready at the front. What do you like to do for fun? What's your favorite food? Where do you like to go? Get drinks from. They can. What are you dating for? Well, I'm just trying to find somebody to blah blah blah. Right? You can do that. When you start asking them more meaningful things, they have to think from back here. It's not ready, which means most times it's more true than the things in the front because they don't have time to manipulate it. Because you're sitting there waiting for the answer. They got to do it now. They have seconds. Right? So now it's weird how it works. But when you ask these open-ended questions, you normally get more truth that way than if you were to just ask these canned questions that everybody asks, because now they got to think about it. Name me 2 things that you learned from your mama when you was growing up that you still use today. Um, 2 things. You know what? I don't even talk to my mama. I don't like her. Oh, where'd that come from? We just learned some new information. I didn't even ask for that, but I got to watch it. Are y'all catching this? The information that I gathered wasn't his words. It was his reaction. Taught me a lot just by watching. Think about it. So now you get to ask some things like, and you can ask yourself, what type of behaviors would immediately disqualify someone for me, right? The deal breakers. So here's the thing. When a deal breaker is sitting, here's the thing about the healing journey, right? And the things that we learn here. Think about this. Pay attention. When you have deal breakers, things that will immediately disqualify them. When you are faced with a deal breaker, what do you do then when you like them? This is where that inner child and shadow work comes in, because that little kid is going to be screaming, because it's going to be confused. I thought this one was going to stay. I really like this person, but there's a deal breaker. There's a non-negotiable. I'm supposed to leave. What decisions do we make then? Or do we try to make it work? And when you do that, if it's a real deal breaker for you, it's going to come back and be like, hey, you forgot about me? I'm back and I'm going to piss you off again. And your inner child is going to be like, but we don't feel abandoned. So can we just try more? And you're going to be like, all right, let's try some more. How's that working out for you? We're not talking about compromise. We're not talking about doing things that to make your partner happy or not. Deal breakers. I need to run. But do you? The other question you got to reflect on is, have you ever ignored your own standards because you like someone? Damn, didn't I just say that? What are we doing, y'all? Here's another open-ended question. How do you normally handle conflict? And then you get to sit back. And sometimes, right, because they're not used to these type of questions, you get to give them little bullet points so they can really think about this. So what I mean when I say, how do you react in conflict? Like when somebody upsets you or you have an argument, how do you normally respond to it? Like typically, are like you a person that raises your voice? Do you need to leave and go to the other room and take 30 minutes? What type of conflict style do you normally have when someone upsets you? And then you get to sit back. Do you have a temper? A short fuse? Is that you? Now they gotta think like, yeah, well, sometimes I do yell. Sometimes I do kind of get pissed off, like really big. Like, so okay. So what do you normally do to calm yourself down when you get like that? Because if we ever get to a point in the future, this is gonna be a problem for me. And you get to decide whether it's worth moving forward because you've gathered data. You've gathered data. Because in this conversation, you could surmise whether they're a person that is willing to compromise and flow in a certain way or not. And you're not even with them yet. You know, this question about conflict, I know y'all, wait. You can ask this on the phone before you ever meet them. And if this question scares them away, it's supposed to. But I don't want to ask too many questions because it might scare them away. So what? You got to ask yourself why you're so anxious about scaring away somebody that you don't know. Where is that coming from? What is that angst? It's you. That angst about, what if I ask too many questions? That's going to be the thing that's going to make them play you with your anxious ass. They're going to read all of that on you. Stop it. If a grown man or a grown woman can't answer, how do you normally handle conflict? And they're like, why are you asking me this? That's not your person, yo. Like over 40, you don't want to answer that? What are you here for again, sir or ma'am? Well, I'm just trying to, have some fun. Okay, cool. Thank you. What? You said you had 2 kids. What kind of relationship you have with your kids? Like, why are you asking me about my kids? Hold on, man. You just told me you had 2 kids. I'm not supposed to. I didn't ask you where they live. Your chest getting a little swole? Ain't we grown? You got to like think about, these are grown adults. Don't let somebody gaslight you out of your safety precautions, because then I'm gonna be looking at you like, why would you let somebody push away the things that you know is gonna work for you to make sure you safe? And I hate that I hear, like, it's not new, right? People been doing this in perpetuity throughout time, but it's like, why are you asking me so many questions? What's all this? Can we just have fun? See, here's the thing, right? Let me do this real quick before we land this plane. Think about this. A grown man or a grown woman who pushes your questions away and wants to replace it with fun. Right? You know what fun does? Over time, without you cataloging the data to try to see if it aligns, you know what it does? Especially if you like them, it makes you emotionally attached to a person too soon. When you emotionally attach to someone too soon, the questions won't matter because they already got you. So your security system is gone. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Go with the flow expedites the emotional attachment. And if you've been watching me, or if you're here for the first time, the number one target for every narcissist, every player, every predator is to get you emotionally attached quickly so you don't see them coming. So who controls how fast you're emotionally attached? It's not them. They can't make you. The reason why you can't tell that this person is this whatever that y'all hate is because you nullified your security measures in 7 days. No wonder you thought everything was perfect. You did not do your due diligence to get to know who the hell you was with. And that doesn't mean that if you do the due diligence, they're not going to be somebody crazy later. I'm saying if you don't try, you ain't going to know anything. I would rather have some information than none and be dumbfounded in like 7 months. Like, I could have asked that the first week. I didn't even know you had kids. What the hell? Like, well, you didn't ask me. They will hit you with, y'all know, they'll hit you with the you didn't ask me. So, oh, we asking. And we asking early. So y'all over 40s and over 50s that's on here, y'all be acting like y'all gonna be on earth forever. Y'all better start, y'all better get, hey, you just don't just get to see me when you feel like it. We gotta talk. We gotta figure out some things for, you don't just, what? You don't get to come over my house yet? What? We gotta talk about some things that mean something. And so here's let me tell y'all what y'all say. That's all cool, Derek. Like, I could ask the questions and this is what y'all say. But what if they lie? Right? That's what y'all's gonna say. What if they lie? You know what I'm gonna say as Coach Derek? So, if you want to know why I said so, put a 1 in the comments. If you want to live stream, if you want the audio, I'm just doing a poll. You want to know why I said so? Put a 1 in the comments. Because I'm going to tell you even if you don't. Because y'all just be watching. Oh, come on. Okay, there's something. Pay attention to what I'm going to say. Because some of y'all, out of the people that's here, stop it. Y'all want to know too. Because y'all the first ones talking about somebody manipulated and lied to you. So all of y'all should be putting 1. The reason why I said so, if they lied to you, right? If you are very meaningful in the questions in the dialogue that you have, meaning you're going to ask a lot of open-ended questions because the answers can't be yes or no. You learn that through coaching here, right? Because I give you a hell of a tool to make you a whole superhero outside, but y'all got to come and get it. And no, I'm not giving you dating advice until we know your little girl is wrangled in. So y'all gonna hate me, but I just want to know the questions. No, what's that little girl looking like? Because she gonna override your questions. So you get a holistic healing here. We handle it from the root up. So now, the reason why I said so if they lie, you got to think about this logically, right? Because a lot of y'all are dating emotionally. Logically, let's pretend we're just gonna give it a round number. Let's pretend you asked 5 meaningful questions and they gave you their truth. Pay attention to my words. They gave you their truth. You should remember these answers because this is part of your vetting. Now that you've remembered the answers that should be their truth, the majority of communication is nonverbal anyway. So right now you have words. Now, as you get to know them, you get to see and hear and feel if what they are doing matches their truth. If it does not match, right? Maybe you say, hey, I noticed this, and maybe you get a better response and a better behavior. But if it doesn't match, and it could even be a deal breaker for you, right? If they lied and it doesn't match, guess what you have the option to do? Leave. Because now it no longer aligns with what you thought it was. But we don't. So even if they lie, and it's like, I can't tell if they lie, you could tell if their behavior lies, though. Well, their behavior and everything matched, and it was, we was 3-4 months in. Cool. 3-4 months in, when you find out that the jig is up, what did you do? Did you leave or did you stay? There's no perfect method to vet lies, but you can definitely know when things don't feel right, when you are hurting, when you feel like there's moments where you have to shrink yourself just to keep it going. We can catalog that information internally. And when we do, we can say, you know what? I know what peace feels like, and this ain't it, and I can leave. So if they lie, so what? We got to trust ourselves. We got to trust our discernment and our intuition. But if your self-esteem ain't there, if the little kid is attaching to the person, you'll never be able to do this. You're going to keep going on hope. You understand what I'm saying? When you're outside dating and vetting these people, you get to catalog information to base up against how they move. Let me tell you something. People are habitual creatures. When those habitual creatures have to put on a show for you, they still are going to have habits that they will not change. Follow what I'm saying. What I find is funny won't change. How I do X, Y, and Z in my life, I'm going to keep doing that because it's what I know, right? It won't match what I had to lie to you about. So if I know one day that you may find out that it's not true, I have to make you love me first. Then you won't care. That's why you didn't see it coming. Emotional attachment is the goal. Oh, I hope y'all listening to me. And when you ask these open-ended questions in the beginning, you will be surprised how much information you will get. And when you get it, you have a decision to make of whether you have the capacity to deal with it or not. And if they tell you that you shouldn't be asking these questions, leave. Here's the famous line. Why are you asking all these questions? It sounds like an interview. It is. For my heart. You don't want to answer questions about who you are? That's weird. Grown ass man, grown ass woman. That's weird. Let me ask you a question. No matter how you do it, you will have to ask questions to get to know them. Well, when someone is trying to get with you and you are having the Q&A back and forth to see if they qualify for you, isn't that an interview? Y'all keep letting these people talk y'all out of asking them questions. It's silly and weird for somebody to be like, stop asking me questions. What? I don't want to answer all that. All I did was ask you, did you have kids? Well, I'm just saying, can we just have fun? Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop letting these people play in your face. We're not talking about what's your childhood trauma. We talking about basic stuff about you that I should know if I even want to go out on the first date with you. We talking about this on the phone. We vetting people on the phone, y'all. Well, I didn't want to ask too many questions because they might have. So I'm not telling you to ask 300. What I'm telling you is you can ask 3 and get enough information that equals to 10. Open-ended questions give you multi-layered answers so that you don't have to ask 20 questions. They'll never see it coming. Because they think you just asked 5 questions. You got catalog information for 20 questions to make an educated decision. You learn this here through my coaching. I'm going to tell y'all one more thing and then I'm going to land this plane. And I hope y'all got values out of it, right? The reason why this works so well through my system, right? Once you matriculate through the healing and then you get the dating stuff, primarily the dating languages decoded, which is a workshop that I created to help you do what I'm telling you to do right now. We create character profiles through my coaching, right? Pay attention to what I'm saying. A character profile is an assessment that you make and you gather information so that you can have an educated decision, not about them, but about their character, the things that motivate them, the things that should let you know whether the alignment is close or not, right? The character profile is driven by you not making them feel like they're being beat over the head because you're asking general questions, but you get to watch. You get to listen. If it's on the phone, you will hear the fluctuations in their voice. You can tell when you ask a question and it takes them 2 minutes to figure it out. You get to process all of this information. So when I was in my traumatic phases before I healed, this is what I used to do to figure out who was worth wasting their time. I am just empowering you with the same tools and using it for another purpose. It's stupidly easy to do. These are the same reasons why you don't see these people coming, because they're making assessments of you that have nothing to do with what's coming out of your mouth. I train you to do this so that you can listen with all of your senses and not just one. That one ear will get you got every time. You pay attention to the nonverbal cues, you pay attention to the mannerisms, you pay attention to, right? Like, pay attention to what I'm doing. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Watch this. So, are you a family-oriented person? Like, do you have a real strong connection to like your immediate family, like your mom? Watch this. So stop. We just got some information. And not a word was said. We just got information. Y'all see? You got to listen to everything. And that is going to come with a pause. Something's there. You may not ever get it totally, but you have information there. This family thing might be a touchy subject for them. So now, this is just information that you're cataloging about who they are. You don't even really have to go too much further, but you know that the family oriented thing might not be their bag. Something happened. It doesn't mean you don't date them, but you got information. You get to choose what your temperament is and what you can have the capacity to deal with. I'm not telling you leave. I'm saying you get to gather information. And all you did was ask them were they family oriented. You get it? When they do answer it, they may say, yes, I'm close with my mom, but don't forget, that could mean they tired of you asking questions. Cool. That's another information. Didn't have words, did it? So imagine a world where you're able to catalog these things, right? And it's not hard to do. This is just human behavior. You all have experienced humans your whole life. You just didn't hone a skill to pay attention to the things that are in your face, right? Once you get this information about character traits, right? Then you get to kind of paint a picture of not who they are as a total person, but are some of these things on your deal breaker list? Are some of these things that you're going to have to probably ask them maybe at a later date? Like, so you remember we talked about, I was just curious about, right? And so now, if it's too deep, they may push you away. But someone who wants to be a husband, someone who wants to be a wife will be like, yeah, me and my parents, we really didn't really get along. And I had to really figure out life myself. It's just ready to go because I'm ready for you. I'm not saying in the first 2 minutes. I'm saying you get to hear it. You get to feel it. Y'all empaths, y'all should be able to do this with your eyes closed. Repurpose your gift. One of the most toxic tools that I use that most of us empaths have is the ability to absorb their emotion. Like we can read, we can feel the energy. And a lot of times when you are healed and you're an empath, you get to literally be like, this energy is off. I don't know what it is, but something ain't right. Introverts, you're going to see inconsistencies before anybody else because y'all just sit back and watch anyway. Use your powers for something that's going to protect you. It's in you. And if you fit introvert, empath, you already know what the hell I'm talking about. With your people watching ass. Use it for your heart now. Empath, I could feel everything and I just want, feel everything. Even the stuff that don't match. You'll be like, wait, that feel off. So now I'm going to use that information of it feeling off, not to push to help them. It's to help me leave. Because it's wrong and it's a deal breaker. And I normally would have dove in and tried to fix it, but no, I get this, it's early. I found this out in the first week. But you won't have the strength if you're not healed, if you're not healing. Because the little kid's going to want to grab that person and be like, no, please don't leave. So I know I went on some tangents, but y'all needed to hear this. It's easier to do what I am saying if you have some healing in you. Most of us don't know how. And my slogan here is you already know you need to heal. Let me show you how. There's nobody in your family or your friend group that has a plan for your healing. Come get it. Time is moving over 30, over 40, over 50, over 60. You still gonna keep the hamster wheel of trauma? A hamster wheel of trauma looks like this: dating the wrong people or isolating from people. Isolation's cute. 5 years of it though? I'm not talking about just simply not dating. I'm talking about avoidance and isolation. You need healing too. So I'm going to land this plane, and I hope y'all got something out of this. This will be uploaded to YouTube, so you'll be able to get the replay. But intention, purpose, when dating and having a plan on who and how you're going to move and matriculate through this is going to make you a superhero out there. It's going to make you a better dater. And the unfortunate but fortunate part about healing and dating is that, yeah, it's going to be probably a lonely road to travel because you're going to be finding out things faster than you ever have, and you're going to be pushing people out the way, and you'll be like, damn it, everybody being put, they supposed to be pushed out the way to make room. Heal first, vet second. I hope y'all catching this. It's not hard. Pay attention. It's not hard to date with intention when you're healed, when you're healing, because you hopefully will have a little more self-esteem and confidence in yourself because you understand yourself better. You're not going to let somebody play in your face like you used to, on hope, on feelings and tinglies. We got more discipline than that now. You know, some of y'all will just go out and be like, well, you know, I ain't had me nothing in a while, so I'm going to just, y'all got to stop doing that if you have a goal. Discipline. When you have discipline to detox the behavior, then the behavior doesn't become the driver and the motivation for you to attach to someone. So the healing journey is essential because it allows you to, pun intended, sit down and heal. If you don't sit down and heal, you're going to be running in one of two directions, the direction of avoidance and isolation, or you're going to run towards the fire. We like fire, don't we? We like running towards the fire because it's warm, but it will also burn your ass up. Because if you ask Coach Tanya, everybody need to be outside. Stop playing around. So until next time, guys, you can come back here for this podcast every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on TikTok, replay on YouTube. The podcast is also on all major podcasting networks for your audio pleasures. Just type in "sit down and heal," and it will magically come up. It's also on that device with the lady that's name start with an A that I can't say because it'll activate mine, but you can ask her to play Sit Down and Heal podcast and it'll still come up. I'm everywhere, y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of your night, and hopefully you'll come back enough times to trust me enough to sit down and heal. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.
Sit down and heal with Coach Day. Let that old pain breathe and we air it. You already know that you need to heal. Let me show you how.